Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sean Brodrick, senior editor at WeissRatings.com. Welcome back to the show and Happy New Year, Sean.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Sean, commodities, are they doing well?
Well, yes, they are, and so I think that really we saw a great Santa Claus rally in the commodities market as a whole, you know, and so that's a good thing. The much better thing is it seems to be continuing on in the new year, because you can always have a Santa Claus rally with a thin volume and like that kind of thing, but you know, we're really seeing this, and we're seeing partly this is due to the U.S. dollar breaking down. Partly this is due to recovering economies around the globe, including the U.S. economy. We just saw the manufacturing numbers out of the U.S. Just really come out very strong. So there seems to be a lot of optimism, at least in the commodity area, going into the new year. So that's the way we're playing it anyway.
Do we have any reason behind that? People are buying real assets instead of services?
Oh, well, I mean, we are seeing demand from the Chinese. You know, they've been cranking up their market. And as I said, other economies around the world seem to be shifting into higher gear to make stuff, which is what they all need. You know, that requires things like copper, nickel, all the stuff that goes into electric vehicles, which are having a roaring year, even though the year just started. I mean, the last year was just really intense for them. And for things like gold, I mean, we saw money flood into the gold ETFs on Monday. Now, gold was up, so you might expect that's, you know, just some money chasing that. But, you know, that's generally very bullish for gold. So it's just a lot of forces really coming together.
We'll have more with Sean Brodrick right after this.
Aben Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Aben's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at abenresources.com.
Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlin, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sean Brodrick. Sean, what's going on with OPEC?
Well, OPEC and Russia were able to agree on holding production steady, at least for a while, and that really helped out the oil market quite a bit. I mean, more than I expected. I thought that would have been priced in, but I'm long oil, so I'm not going to not going to complain. You know, I mean, we saw oil just really kind of flatten out for the last week or so, and but just a big move today. The U.S. crude oil benchmark is up 4.6%. That's a nice move in the oil space. That's really nice. And so I think a lot of that, again, is probably due to the recovering economies around the globe, or at least less fear that things are going to slow down. Now, there is still that fear, and that fear is due to the fact that many countries haven't quite gotten the COVID pandemic under control. there's more outbreaks and stuff like that. You see what's going on in Europe, or with Britain having this new super strain of COVID-19 that spreads faster and stuff like that. So there are dangers, but I think that what's happening in the markets is the bad news that has come out isn't as bad as the market feared things could be. So that's generally putting a more positive spin on things. And then when you get OPEC and the Russian oil alliance actually holding things together and not going for a complete money grab like they usually do, well, you put those things together, and that's a kind of bullish environment for oil.
Plus, I think, didn't they have some kind of a ceasefire between Saudi Arabia and the Emirates? Not the Emirates, but Qatar.
You mean Yemen?
Yeah, Yemen.
Yeah, I don't know what that really means for the oil market. I mean, I don't know if oil traders really care about that. I mean, if anything, you would think that might lower the price of oil because that lowers the chances of rogue Yemeni missiles actually flying into Saudi oil facilities, right? So that the market shrugged that off. Of course, I don't think anything good is going to come out of that little hot spot. So who knows? But I think it's more focused on the improving economies around the globe.
We'll have more with Sean Brodrick right after this.
Value from success, growth in discovery. Golden Arrow Resources is a well-funded gold-copper exploration company with proven management and prospective properties in Chile, Argentina, and Paraguay. Golden Arrow trades on the Toronto Venture Exchange, symbol GRG, on Frankfurt, symbol G6A, and the OTCQB, symbol GARWF. For more information, visit us at goldenarrowresources.com or call Sean at 778-686-0135.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sean Brodrick. What's going on with uranium?
Nice move in uranium. Wow. I mean, really, when you look at what happened, since November, it's really been a great move. And so, what is going on with it? Well, I mean, we know that there's been a worsening supply-demand forecast for quite some time. Part of this is caused by COVID. They have to shut down mines around the world, right? Many of them are uranium mines, unfortunately. And so that hurts supply. So that's part of it. But there's a lot more to it. I mean, one interesting thing that happened was that the big uranium mining company in Kazakhstan sold a 49% interest in 2 mines to China. So maybe that means more of supply from Kazakhstan will actually flow into China. That might have been supply that the rest of the world was counting on. Now, to me, a bull market in uranium has made a lot of sense for a long time, and I was just stunned that we weren't having it. So now that we're finally having it, am I finally right? Has it finally proved right? Or else was it something I missed? I don't know. I do know that things are looking good, and of course, probably Cameco is the benchmark, but there are plenty of good stocks that are outperforming Cameco right now. And so I think people should look deeper into this space and see what companies have real potential there, because there is so much potential in the uranium space. There are so few uranium miners, so few uranium explorers, and the demand is just so huge that this is the supply-demand gap that people have been talking about for years. It may be finally coming to impact the market.
What's the story with gold right now?
Well, gold's great. I mean, gold actually pushed above its 5-month downtrend yesterday, and it's holding that. It's actually going higher today, which is really good. I expected there'd be some kind of pullback and a retest. Now, we could still have that. You know, I mean, just because we haven't seen the pullback yet, there certainly could be one. But the fact that we had follow-through on that big breakout yesterday just shows how strong the gold market is. There's a lot of good reasons, most of them having to do with money printing around the world, right? It's really thrown the global financial markets out of whack. It's not just the U.S. central bank, it's central banks around the world. As a response to the pandemic, they printed a lot of money and loaned it out to pretty much anybody who showed up at the window, saying, go take this money, do something with it so we can keep the economy going. Well, the rates are super cheap, pretty much giving it away. And so, of course, they're going to take that money. Now, some of it might go to build roads and bridges and stuff like that. But a lot of it sloshing around is just going to go into the financial markets. That pumps up stocks, and that also pumps up gold. So, because all that loose money hanging around, people start to worry about inflation. Of course that's going to pump up gold. So, at the same time, you have to look at one ratio that I like to look at is the ratio of the price of gold stocks to the price of the S&P 500. That's at multi-decade lows. By any common sense, gold stocks are undervalued compared to the S&P 500. Therefore, this is, a prime launch platform. You can just see all the ingredients there. I really think we could have a tremendous move. Now, I thought we'd have a bigger move than we had last year. And then things peaked out in August. It really kind of ticked me off. But, that's the thing about gold. They aren't finding more of it. Low prices for so long have really suppressed exploration and stuff. Like uranium, but not quite that bad. We can see a supply-demand squeeze coming. We can see peak gold in the, near future. And so, once the market starts to price that in, that's very good news for the price of gold and for those miners leveraged to the metal.
What's going on in the marijuana space?
Oh, well, we've been taking profits. I'm actually wondering if I should take more profits. I mean, everything's up, right? And so it's actually been hard not to make money in the marijuana space, say in the last 6 months. So actually it hasn't been that long. It's more like 3 or 4 months that things have really been rocking. But one thing that makes me hesitate, and it might not stop me, we'll see what I do later this week, because I'm not really sure, is that oftentimes, and I'm not sure why this is, there's a seasonal effect in the marijuana space, where things peak out in either January or February and then go downhill for a while. Find a valley and then go higher again. So will we have that pullback? I'm not sure. That's the only thing that's making me hesitate buying even more now. And, it's such a new market. It's not like we have a long history of this. Maybe that just happened a few times. Maybe it won't happen this year. And with all the money that's flooding around and floating around in the market, all that free money that I talked about, well, of course some of it's going to chase marijuana stocks. Because, we've seen the growth in there, and so many of them, especially the U.S. multi-state operators, or MSOs as we call them, are either already profitable or about to become profitable. And they still maintain tremendous growth. So now you'll have companies that are making a profit with tremendous growth and more potential upside as states across the U.S. legalize. Now, there's an important vote happening in the U.S. on January 5th, which, as you and I speak, is, that's today. That's in Georgia. 2 elections for the U.S. Senate in there. If the Republicans win either of those seats, Mitch McConnell will stay as the leader of the Senate, and he will not allow a vote on legalizing marijuana. If the Democrats somehow win both seats, then Chuck Schumer becomes the leader of the Senate, and he'll probably push through a vote on legalizing marijuana. I would say that the odds favor the Republicans holding it. Maybe there's been some optimism put into the market on the chance that the Democrats might win. So I'm watching the cannabis market closely to see how it reacts to the news out of Georgia, which should come on late Tuesday or Wednesday. But hold the phone. If it's a result that the Republicans don't like, they're probably going to sue. And that could drag on for months. So that could really throw things, up in limbo, and we're not really sure how that will work out. So, again, I think the odds favor the Republicans on this, but the market is like looking at that and saying, you know what, even if Republicans control the Senate, we're still going to see state-by-state legalization, and that's good news for the cannabis companies in the U.S. If the Democrats somehow pull it out, if they actually do that, then that just means that markets could open up in a big way. Now, I'm sure there are some U.S. multi-state operators that are actually opposing legalization on a federal level. And that's because they build up a nice little business which makes money under the current system. If they suddenly have to compete with the big corporate giants, the ones that make alcohol and stuff like that, suddenly move into the cannabis business, that could be a tough row for them to actually hoe. You know, I mean, that could be having their work cut out for them. But we'll see how it goes. Certainly, it's a very exciting time in cannabis. Watch what happens in Georgia this week. It could set the tone for the rest of the year in that market.
Sean, thank you so much for chatting with us.
It's always a great time. Thanks.
My guest has been Sean Brodrick, senior editor at WeissRatings.com. He was speaking to us from Florida. If you have any questions for Sean or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@HowStreet.com. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Find us on Twitter @HowStreet. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.